Good morning everyone. My name is Laura Stranks and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Thanks for joining me this morning. We're going to do this lovely little card here. It's called a pop-up block card. It's been done a few times by different ladies and I've just put my spin on it today. This paper here is from the mini catalogue called Nature's Sweetness. Beautiful, beautiful paper. Most of you would have seen it by now. All vintagey type colours and vintagey look papers. Lots of my favourite ones in there. I'm sure you don't need to see through that. I've used a couple of the patterns out of it today, and I've also stamped from the stamp set on the back of this one. I'm going to do a different colour and a different pattern today out of a totally different set altogether. But before we get started, I'll just mention a few things. I've been a demonstrator for almost, I think next month it'll be 8, or this month, later this month, it'll be 8 years. I've been a demonstrator for Stampin' Up! I do have a Facebook page called Cards by Laura. If you want to join in there, you just go in and follow, or you can just have a look. All my cards that I do, I post in there for people to see. I've also got a large Facebook group called Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials. There's over 12,500 members in that group. A lot of them are not active in there. I think they're just in there to have a look, but I'd love to have for you to share any of your projects in there. There is a files tab in there where all my PDFs and go for all of the cards that I do on YouTube, and I also do live videos on a Saturday morning in the group, and then the PDF is filed in that files section as well. The video is also pinned to the top of the group in the featured tab, so you're welcome to join that group. If you do decide to join, when you apply, just remember there's 2 questions there that you need to answer. Either both of them are, one, why you'd like to join the group. I'd love to know why you're interested in joining my group, whether it be just to learn new things or just to have a look at what everyone else is doing. And also the second question is that you agree to the rules. It's just general rules, being nice to people and not promoting yourself but sharing your products and stuff. So that's that group there. And then my YouTube channel, if you're watching for the first time today, it's called Creative Gems. Love you to subscribe, and if you've been watching before, welcome back and thanks for joining me again today. I shall put this aside because it does get in the road a little bit. So today's card, and I have got my measurements here for you to have a look at. You can take a screenshot of this, but the measurements will be in the description box of the video, of this video, once I've recorded and uploaded it. All these measurements will be here. The instructions are not in here, but the instructions will be on the PDF, which is stored in my Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials group. So I'll just go through all the pieces and what I'm doing today. So we shall start with, and that's the back piece, we'll start with our base, and I'll just show you the colours, the pattern paper that I'm using today. I've put it beside here. It's called Sunny Days. It's a 12 by 12 paper. It's free for every qualifying order in the Celebration catalogue. I will show you some of these because you might not have noticed this one. This is the paper I'm using today, and that's the background of that paper. So it coordinates with the colours. There's some clouds, really pretty clouds. I've seen some lovely projects done with that. Really bright red. I think I'd tone that down with a bit of white if I use that. And that one there, little flirty flamingo or peach. I'm not sure what colour that is. Those. The one I'm doing today is shaded spruce. The matte. Some strawberries, nice and bright. Some bees, lovely yellow bees, orange bees. Flowers, that's quite nice and bright. You could tone that with white or a black matte in behind it to make it pop a little bit. Some cherries, some generic, just plain striped patterns. So that's that pack. That's the one we're using today. So with our base, it measures 9.5 by 4 1/4. That's that piece there, and I'll give you the scoring for that in a minute. Then the mat that's going on that is, and this is at the front, which is this one under here at the back. The mat is in the shaded, sorry, it's in the white, 5 1/4 by 4 inches, and then the designer series paper, which is this one here. I think it goes that way. I'm hoping it goes that way. 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. So I've chosen an alternate pattern to the rest of the card, as I did here. I chose a different pattern to what I did on all the blocks. Block 1, which is the biggest one at the back, that measures 5 inches by 3 1/4. That's your shaded spruce piece. And then the mat that goes on that is 3 1/8 by 1 3/8. Sorry, that's that one. And the DSP is 3 inches by 1 1/4. And then the second one in the middle block, the block itself is 4 inches by 2 1/2. And then I have white mats that measures 2 3/8 by 1 3/8. And the DSP is 2 1/4 by 1 1/4. And then the small one at the front is, or at the back I should say, it's 3 inches by 1 1/2 for your block. And then the mat is 1 3/8 by 1 3/8. That's a little square. And the DSP is 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. And then my back mat, that's all those pieces. My back mat, I've decorated it with a bit of stamping. The stamping is from this one here, Notes of Nature. This little flower here, I've just stamped it in the shaded spruce, and then these little dot pieces around the edges just to pretty it up a little bit. I thought that went okay with this, what I'm doing. And I've got some embellishments, I'll show you those later, and some ribbon to put on it as well. So we shall put that one aside, and I shall give you the scoring. Don't need that. Just move that away. Now our back piece first, our main mat. We'll do all the scoring together, and then we'll assemble. So the base mat, it's scored on the long side at 2 inches, which is that one. Sometimes I pre-score everything, but I didn't on this one. I'll just do it as we go. And at 4 inches. Put that one aside. The bigger block at the back, I'll flip these over so we get to the right ones first. This is the block 1. It's scored at 1 1/2. 3 inches. And 4 1/2. There's 3 scores. Now each of them will have this little 1/2 inch tab on one end, and you'll see when we get to that where that comes in. So that's that first one. Block 2, which is 1 inch scored. First score, 1 inch, 2 1/2. And 3 1/2, and it was 4 inches long, so you've got that little 1/2 inch piece on that end again. That's that one, which is those 2 pieces. And then block 3 is a 1/2 inch. This one ends up with a 1/2 inch on each end. 1/2 inch, 2 inches, and 2 1/2 inches. They get smaller as they go down. It's really easy to assemble. It looks quite complicated, but it's not. And that's those 3. That's all the scoring we need to do. Now we'll start with our back piece. Do it in order. So you're going to fold this in half or not in half, but at the main score line in the center. And then actually it'll be up this way, so your shorter piece will be at the front, and this piece will just fold back on itself, and that creates your base. Burnish it nicely so it sits down fairly flat. Once you put something on top of these cards, they tend to sit flat more later on. I often put a couple of blocks on them overnight, and then they sit down nice and flat. Then our back piece, which we've got the mat, and I don't normally use liquid glue on all of these, but I am, or on my projects I use seal, but for this one I'm going to use snail because we've got the 1/16 border all the way around. I want to try and get it nice and even. When you've got the 1/8 inch border, I find it easier to use the seal, but with liquid glue it's good on the little 1/16 border. And I'll just get my silicone mat out. I do have the new glass mat, but I find it the glare from my overhead lights affects it, and it doesn't look very nice on the mat, so I'm still sticking with my paper, grid paper. Now this has got the little 1/16 all the way around, so you just need a little wiggle room to get that nice and even all the way around. And then this one will go in on the back here. This glue is a fairly new one, so it's coming out quite strong. I'll try and use a little bit less. And that one will go in the back section there. You don't end up seeing much of the back section. This part here has got 1/8 inch border all the way around, but all the others have just 1/16. You could make this out to the 1/16, but I wanted a bit bigger border on that piece. So that's those. Now this one, which, did I cut them? I haven't cut them, I don't think. That's my block. I haven't cut the pieces for this first one. I shall just that one, DSP 5 It's this one here that I'm missing. I'll just get out my notes. Block 3, block 2, 1, 2, 3. I missed one here, so I'll just get out a piece of white. We'll just cut the piece as we go. And I'll just cut this. I'll just check my other measurements. So now I've got another 4 1/8 by 1 7/8. That's the one I missed. And I'll add that to the measurements. So it's this panel here. It's 1 7/8 in width by 4 and that looks like it's crooked. 4 1/8. I'll just get another piece that looks like it's crooked to start with. I'll get a little bit bigger piece. 4 1/8 by 1 7/8. And then we need DSP 4 by 1 3/4. So I'm using the get this out. I knew I'd missed a line. 4 by 1 3/4. So we'll go this way. Actually, I think I'll go this way. 4 by 1 3/4. Now we're back on track. So this mat, this will go onto this piece. Don't know why I didn't pick that up when I was prepping. I like to prep everything beforehand, but that didn't take too long. So this has just got the little 1/8 inch border all the way around. Actually, it's a 1/16, not 1/8. It's just a little fine border. I'll put some adhesive on this one, and that will go. I'll move that aside. I've got a wipe there to wipe it off. That one will go on there. I'll fix up my PDF before I post it, and I'll add the instructions to the description box as well in this video. So that's that section. Just going to wipe this glue off here. Now we can do all of these. I'll assemble them all first. Do this back one first. So fold and burnish all of your score lines into mountain folds. So you'll end up with a shape like that. It'll go like that actually, with that on that side. And now this panel, the center of the 3 here, the 3 larger ones, the center one is where you're going to put your mats and your DSP. And that's the same on all of them, all 3 of them. We've finished 1 month already of 2024. Don't know where it went so fast. Time's just going so quickly. I'm organising a retreat in February. As I said, I live in Brisbane, and well, I live in Logan, which is a suburb of Brisbane, an outer suburb of Brisbane. It's its own Logan City Council. So a friend of mine and I are organising a retreat in May this year. We're going to On Stage first, just to get a peek at the new annual catalogue. And then we're going to design our projects using products from the new catalogue. So that one's scored exactly the same, and you've got the three larger panels in the centre here. And this next piece here will go on that. I looked at this paper, and after I'd cut it, I realised it's probably directional. You wouldn't notice it because the flowers are going that way, but with it sideways, it didn't really matter. I thought flowers do go sideways. They're not that noticeable. They just look like they're a bit tipped on their side. Some of them look straight up and down anyway. Just move that over a fraction. That's the beauty of using liquid glue. You've got time to move it so it's nice and straight. Yes, so we'll post the event up in April, early April, and then it'll be open for ladies to indicate if they're coming. It's over 2 days, and we do 10 projects. They're not all they're all fancy fold cards, and they are boxes. They're all some sort of 3D project, which we've had one. This will be the 3rd one. We had one in October last year, and we had one in, I think it was March, the first one last year, and this will be our 3rd. And so looking forward to it. Looking forward to Melbourne to start with, down there in March, which will be lovely. My friend has never been to On Stage. I've been to quite a few, but not lately since COVID hit. But she has never been to any. So it's all new to her. She's quite excited to go. I'm sure we'll have lots of fun. We're heading down on the Thursday morning. The event starts Thursday afternoon through Friday and Saturday, and then we'll be home Sunday. Just a mini break. So that's all those three. Now to put them onto this, the easy way, the little small tab is going to the right hand side and it opens that way. So you've got your bigger block over here and the smaller block to the right. So all you're going to do is put some glue on this bigger tab or bigger section. Try not to ooze out too much glue. And I find the easiest way is to center it top and bottom here. Put it just this side of the score line. You don't want it on the score line. You want to be able to move this backwards and forwards. And try and make it nice and even all the way. Straighten it up a little bit. And then just close that shut. Give it a few seconds to dry or to grab. And then we can put adhesive on this little tab down this side. All of these panels are done exactly the same. Now this time you're going to fold from that tab there, from that score line back further in. Just close it shut like that. Move it over and push it down. How easy is that? Just give it a few seconds to take, because if you lift it too early it'll just pull apart. So we're going to do the same with the next one. You've got your small tab to the right and the wider tab to the left. We're going to put adhesive down that side first. Lift this up. It's going to go butt up against this previous block. And you want it even top and bottom, if you can see that in there, like so. Butt it up against that. Let's move it up a fraction, and then just close that shut. Hold it there while you're doing the next bit. A little bit of glue on that smaller tab up that end. Turn it sideways, it's easier to work. And if you lift it up, this will go straight under and down. So leave it all out flat and pull from that second score line in. And then the last one, excuse me. So these are all small tabs, but you want the one with the double join onto the right hand side. So this one here will have the glue on it. Lift that up, pop that in there so it's even top and bottom, and push it down. Then some glue again on this piece. I've got a little bit of bubble on that there. Trying to get a bit of glue all over the tab so it holds. And then this one, it's probably a little bit harder to lift up, but if you lift it up, poke it under and pop it down. That's all there is to it. I'll put the lid on my glue and just a bit of decoration. I can put the back mat on. On the first one I did, I put the gold. This one I've got gold mats all the way around, and that back one I've got the gold and the white. But because I've got white mats on this, I didn't put an extra mat on the back. I've just got the plain white. So the measurements that are on the PDF are for a mat at the back. So all you would do is whatever size mat it is, use that as your white if you don't want a mat at the back, or if it's like mine where it's white mats. Some glue around the edge of that. pop that on the back. That's your writing panel back there. Lots of room to write your message. And that's that. And then the greeting I've chosen this out of this same set here where I did the flower and the spots. Today is all about you, happy birthday. That's that one there. And I've used my Stylish Shape banner. I'm going to put that there. I have also tied a little bow. I use a bow maker. It's just a little plastic bow maker, really easy to tie bows with. If ever you've got chance to purchase one, it's just I'll show you the one that I've got. There are several versions around. Just a block of wood with holes in works just as well. So that's my bow maker, and you can do all different sizes. It's just little pegs in a hole. I've had this for years because I tie my bows for my girls for the workshops. And then I've also punched out some little flowers from the Stippled Roses set. These little flowers here, they're punched out with white cardstock. I'm just going to pop them on that first panel. So I'll put this in place first. Now I just want glue. I'm going to put it so it ends up about halfway across this one here. So we'll just put glue on the end of this. You don't want it all the way across, otherwise it'll stick all your blocks together. Center that. You could put it top or bottom, it doesn't have to be in the center. I'm going to center it across the center there, but you don't want it adhered to any of these, so you can't put dimensionals or something on there, otherwise your card wouldn't open. Just move that across a little bit. So that's sort of free flowing. It's a little bit crooked. I've already put some embellishments on the end of that, which are these adhesive back glitter sequins. There's white and a old olive and a blue. Looks like, not sure what blue it is. It looks a little bit like Pool Party or one of those. The ribbon I've used for my bow is this sheer ribbon. It's silver and white. I thought that went nicely with it, just to decorate it up. I'm going to put that up there with some glue dots. I'll put my pick tool. Glue dots are really strong, good strong adhesive for ribbon, for bows and things. They hold them really steady. So that's that one. I'm just trying to part the layers on that bow like so. And then we've got these little ones, which I'm going to pop them up with glue dots as well. It won't give them a lot of height, just a little bit. I'm just going to scatter them on this front piece. I decided on white because you can see them more onto the green, and they sort of go with the little white flowers in the background. Actually, I've got that. I'll just take that off for a sec. That's on the back there. I can see it's on the wrong side. Now we'll put the glue dot on the back. And this one, I've got this one right. I put my embellishments on early so that I wouldn't forget to do them. Sometimes I forget to decorate when I'm doing a video. This one can go here. And that is it. I think I showed you everything that I used on the card. So that's how that one works. Nicely stuck together. Sits up beautifully on your desk or your mantle. Thank you for joining me again today for those regulars that I have. This one here is a little bit long. I preferred this one, but that greeting didn't fit. This was out of the deckled rectangles. That is a better length die, but that's not too bad. It won't matter if it flaps around. Thank you for joining me, as I said, and I shall catch you all again next week. Have a lovely week and stay safe. Bye for now.